Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commercial diplomacy is critical to advancing the interests of America and its allies abroad. Today marks 4 years since Russia illegally invaded Ukrainian soil. As we solemnly remember the lives lost in this tragic war, I want to discuss the important work that Under Secretary Helberg and his team are doing at the State Department to use economic levers to cut off the Russian war machine and protect the Ukrainian people. Mr. Helberg, I am encouraged by President Trump's statement earlier this month that Prime Minister Modi promised India would stop purchasing Russian oil. I recently introduced the No Aid for Russian Energy Act with a group of bipartisan colleagues. This bill highlights the need for all of America's allies to stop enabling the Russian oil industry, which continues to fund Putin's illegal war. Can you share how this administration's agreement with India takes an important step in countering Russia and supporting Ukraine?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. As you know, the administration has instated a policy of maximum pressure on Russia. The goal of the administration is very much to bring about an end to the war in Ukraine. That included the instatement of secondary sanctions, which, as you point out, had the effect of affecting a number of different Indian interests. Ultimately, the reaching of the bilateral joint statement on trade between the U.S. and India has brought about a positive resolution to those discussions, and the content of the bilateral statement on trade include historic purchases by India from the U.S. on energy, historic cross-border investment, and I believe it was in the first quarter of the president's administration, President Modi and President Trump set a goal of increasing overall bilateral trade flows to $500 billion. So I'm incredibly confident in the trajectory of the U.S.-Indian relationship. It's incredibly strong. I actually just got back from India. I was there 3.5 days ago. Our new ambassador there is doing an unbelievable job. If you have additional ideas on ways that the U.S. and India could work together, we would certainly welcome and are always looking for ways to deepen that vital relationship.
It is critical that America's allies throughout the world commit to stop purchasing Russian oil. I co-sponsored the Sanctioning Russia Act of 2025, which has the support of the President and will create economic levers to encourage other nations to stop funding the Russian war machine. How can economic levers be used to encourage other nations to stop relying on Russian oil?
I'm sorry, do you mind repeating the question, Congressman?
How can economic levers be used to encourage other nations to stop relying on Russian oil?
So this really strikes at the heart of the twofold approach that the administration's taken, which is maximum pressure, which my understanding is both chambers have supported the Sanctioning Russia Act, which has gotten 84 co-sponsors in the Senate. The president has expressed support, which obviously provides the administration a great deal of leverage and as everyone knows, would provide the president the authority to instate 500% tariffs on countries that continue trading energy with Russia, while simultaneously expanding the total supply of energy outside of Russia. So that includes bringing Venezuelan sources of energy back online. That includes expanding our domestic energy production. We now have a domestic energy production that actually exceeds Saudi Arabia and Russia combined, which is truly historic.